Hey everybody, this video is called the Second Census, and today we're going to continue our pass-through study here in the book of Numbers, looking at the 26th chapter. And many people, they'll combine this chapter with one of the others or a few of the others when they go through it, because the census isn't always as interesting to people as, the regular accounts and stories. But we're going to go through just the census today, so it's a long chapter, but we're going to speed right through it. And so we're going to look at the second census of Israel in the wilderness. And as we're in the month of January now, many towns will also be taking a census. They're going to send you things, who lives in your household, how many pets do you have, so on and so forth. And what they do with that number is they're keeping track how many people reside in your city or town. But we're going to look here at verses 1 through 4 starting out. It says, "And it came to pass after the plague that the Lord spoke to Moses and Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saying, Take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel, from 20 years old and above, by their fathers' houses, all who were able to go to war in Israel. So Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, saying, Take a census of the people from 20 years old and above, just as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel who came out of the land of Egypt." So we see, just like the first one, the second census that Israel was to take, they were to have a count of those who were 20 years and above. And the purpose of it was to see who's fit for military service. And this is 38 years after the first census, if you remember back in chapter 1. And this chapter, it begins speaking of going to war. And from here through chapter 32 is where it ends. And the rest of Numbers from here on out records the renewed obedience of Israel. And we are finally over the very sad text between Numbers 13 through 25 with Israel's continuous rebellion. But we're going to look at verses 5 through 11 next. It says, "Reuben was the firstborn of Israel. The children of Reuben were of Hanoch, the family of the Hanochites of Palu, the family of the Paluites of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites. Those who were numbered of them were 43,730. And the son of Palu was Eliab. And the sons of Eliab were Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. These are the Dathan and Abiram representatives of the congregation who contended against Moses and Aaron in the company of Korah, when they contended against the Lord, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them together with Korah when the company died, when the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. Nevertheless, the children of Korah did not die." So we see here that this starts with the numbers of losses and gains. And the section covers the tribe of Reuben, and they lost about 6% of their men, or 2,770. And Dathan and Abiram were singled out for special mention because of their parts in the rebellion back in Numbers 16. And they're mentioned to remind that God will judge against rebellion. And the sons of Korah were spared of judgment because they separated themselves from their father's house in Numbers 16:26. In verse 12 through 14, the sons of Simon, according to their families, were of Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites of Jamin, the family of the Jaminites of Jachin, the family of the Jachinites of Zerah, the family of the Zarites of Sheol, the family of the Shaolites. These are the families of the Simonites, 22,200. So we see that the tribe of Simon, they lost about 37,100 men, which would give them a loss rate of about 63%. So they had a very big impact against them. And the great decline in the tribe of Simon was likely to do in the participation of the sexual immorality and idolatry back in Baal of Peor, back in the last chapter in verse 14. And that's where we see the Israelite man is killed with the Midianite woman for engaging in sexual immorality. And most likely that Israelite man was a Simonite, according to some who believe that. In verse 15 through 18, the sons of Gad, according to their families, were Zephon, the family of the Zephonites of Haggi, the family of the Haggites of Shuni, the family of the Shunites of Ozni, the family of the Oznites of Eri, and the family of the Erites of Arod, the family of the Arodites of Areli, the family of the Arelites. These are the families of the sons of Gad, according to those who were numbered of them, 40,500. So the sons of Gad's tribe, they lost 5,150 fighting men, which is about 11% of their population. In verse 19 through 22, the sons of Judah were and Onan, and and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah, according to their families, were of Shelah, the family of the Shelonites of Perez, the family of the Parzites of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites, and the sons of Perez were of Hezron, the family of Hezronites, of Hamul, the family of the Hamulites. These are the families of Judah, according to those who were numbered of them, 76,500. So the tribe of Judah is different here of the others, as they actually gain in population of 1,900 men, or they see about a 3% increase in their population. And and Chan did not receive an inheritance of the land because of their great evil back in Genesis 38 verses 1 through 10, when Onan denied a child to his dead brother. And feel free to go check out that video or go read chapter 38 to see about it. So verse 23 through 25, the sons of Issachar, according to their families, were of Tola, the family of Tolarites of Purah, the family of the Punites of Jeshub, the family of the Jashuites of Shimron, the family of the Shimronites. These are the family of Issachar, according to those who were numbered of them, 64,300. So we see the tribe of Issachar, they gained about 9,900 men, or about an 18% increase. And 26-27, the sons of Zebulun, according to their families, were of Sered, the family of the Sardites of Elon, the family of the Elonites of Jelul, the family of the Jelulites. These are the families of the Jebulonites, according to those who were numbered of them, 60,500. So, as you can see, there's a lot of numbers added here. But the tribe of Jebulon, they gained about 3,100 men in their population, or about a growth of 5% for their tribe. In verse 28 through 34, the sons of Joseph, according to their families, by Manasseh and Ephraim, were the sons of Manasseh of Machir, the family of the Machirites, and Machir begot Jalad, and of Jalad, the family of the Jaladites. These are the sons of Jalad of Zezar, the family of the Zezarites of Helik, and the family of the Helikites of Asriel, the family of the Ashrelites of Shechem, the family of the Shechemites of Shemida, the family of the Shemidaites of Hefer, and the family of the Heferites. Now Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, had no sons but daughters, and the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the families of Manasseh, and those who were numbered of them were 52,700. So we see that the tribe of Manasseh really saw a great increase of 20,500 men, about a 64% increase. So their tribe shot way up in population. And notice in verse 33, Zelohihad. And he had no sons, and he only had daughters, which laid basis for the laws of inheritance that are to come in the next chapter that we'll look at next week. And also, the end of the book of Numbers talks about it in verses 1 through 12. And what I think is also interesting is he named one of his daughters Noah. And, when we think of Noah from Genesis as a male. But just crazy, well, not crazy, but a cool, thing to think about. That, you can get carried away just skimming right through these censuses or genealogies and all that. And so verse 35 through 37, these are the sons of Ephraim according to their families of Shelutha, the family of the Sheluthites of Becher, the family of the Becherites of Tahan, the family of the Tahanites, and these are the sons of Shuth-elah of Urin, the family of the Urinites. These are the families of the sons of Ephraim, according to those who were numbered of them, 32,500. And these are the sons of Joseph, according to their families. So the tribe of Ephraim, they lost 8,000 men, or about 20% of their population. So they took a big hit. In verse 38 through 41, the sons of Benjamin, according to their families, were Bela, the son of the Belarites of Ashbel, the family of the Ashbelites of Ahuram, the family of the Ahuramites of Shuham, the family of the Shahumites of Hufam, the family of the Hufamites, and the sons of Bela are Ard and Naaman of Ard, the family of the Ardites of Naaman, and the family of the Naamanites. These are the sons of Benjamin, according to their families, and those who were numbered of them were 45,600. So we see that the tribe of Benjamin gained about 10,200 men at a rate about 29%. In verse 42, 43, these are the sons of Dan, according to their families of Shuham, the family of the Shuhamites. These are the families of Dan, according to their families. All the families of the Shuhamites, according to those who were numbered of them, were 64,400. So the tribe of Dan, they had a small increase of about 3%, 1,700 men. And, when you might be asking, where are you getting these numbers of the differences? If you go back and correlate chapter 1 with the numbers given here, that's where you find if they're a gain of population or a loss in population. So verse 44 through 47 says, the sons of Asher, according to their families, were Jimnah, the family of the Jiminites of Jesui, the family of the Jesuites of Beriah, the family of the Berites, of the sons of Beriah of Heber, the family of the Heberites of Malchiel, the family of the Malchielites, and the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. And there are the families of the sons of Asher, according to those who were numbered of them, 53,400. So the tribe of Asher, they gained about a little shy of 12,000 men. It was 11,900, or about 29% increase. In verse 48 through 50, the sons of Naphtali, according to their families, were Zazel, the family of the Zazelites of Guni, the family of the Gunites of Zezer, the family of the Zezerites of Shalem, the family of the Shalemites. These are the families of Naphtali, according to their families, and those who were numbered of them were 45,400. So the tribe of Naphtali saw a loss of about 8,000 men, or about 15% of their size. In verse 51, these are those who were numbered of the children of Israel, 601,730. So in the first census, we saw that there was 603,550 men that were ready for war, whereas now there is 601,730, which means that there's about a 1,820 loss of men, or about 3% decline. And normally over 30 years, generations will grow in population, but not Israel. And we know from these 38 years that Israel's been through a lot. And so of the 12 tribes of Israel, 5 suffered loss and 7 gained men. In verse 52 through 56, it says, Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, To these the land shall be divided as an inheritance according to the number of names. To a large tribe you shall give a larger inheritance, and to a small tribe you shall give a smaller inheritance. Each shall be given its inheritance according to those who were numbered of them. But the land shall be divided by lot. They shall inherit according to the names of the tribes of their fathers, according to the lot. Their inheritance shall be divided between the larger and the smaller. So the census numbers would be used to decide the size of the tribe's inheritance of the land. So even though we see, tons of numbers thrown here, because the book is named after numbers, obviously, we see tons of numbers from the census between the first and the second. But this is pointing to figuring out the inheritance. And the exact locations would be determined by lot for the outworking of these words later in Joshua chapter 13, verse 1 and 7, and Joshua 14, verse 1 through 19 shows. In verse 57 through 62, says, And these are those who were numbered of the Levites according to their families of Gershon, the family of the Gershonites of Kohath, the family of the Kohathites of Merari, the family of the Merarites. These are the families of the Levites, the family of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Mahlites, the family of the Mushites, and the family of the Korathites. And Kohath begot Aram. The name of Aram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Egypt, and to Amram she bore Aaron and Moses and their sister Miriam. To Aaron were born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, and Nadab and Abihu died when they offered profane fire before the Lord. Now, those who were numbered of them were 23,000, every male from a month old and above, for they were not numbered among the children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the children of Israel. So, as in the first census, you see that the Levites are counted separately, and the total number of Levites was 23,000, which is a increase of 1,000 compared to Numbers 1, the first census. In verse 63 through 65, these are those who were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priests, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan, across from Jericho. And among these, there was not a man of those who were numbered by Moses and Aaron the priests when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said of them, They shall surely die in the wilderness. But so there was not left a man of them except Caleb, the son of Zephunah, and Joshua, the son of Nun. So none in the first census was counted in the second. And the old generation of unbelief perished in the wilderness, just as God said would happen. And they had no inheritance in the promised land, except we see the exception case of Caleb and Joshua. So to wrap up, we look at the command for Moses to take the census, and we see that the mission is complete, that the census has been taken, and you can see the differences in what happened in 38 years. So that's going to wrap up this video. I know censuses are not probably your favorite, but we'll see you next week as we're going to look at the daughters of Zelophehad. So we're going to take a look at the daughters and how is an inheritance given in Israel when there are no sons. So I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. For those who know, I'm going for my MRI today, so I just pray for that. I ask for prayer in that everything comes back good with the brain, and that the spot that they are concerned about is nothing. But, God is in control, and I got to rest in the sovereignty of God. So have a great rest of your weekend. God bless.